What's up, y'all? This is Johnny Schultz. Today, I finally get to reveal a project I've been working on for the past 2 years. Let me introduce you to Deep Dive. This is the first bass fishing app that provides real-time strategies based on current lake and weather conditions. Over the past 2 years, our team has developed a bass fishing algorithm that links patterns from professional level bass fishing tournaments with real-time lake and weather conditions to give you the best strategies to use while you're on the lake. Let me explain how the app works. You'll start by selecting your lake or river from our database of over 350 fisheries across the United States. This will then take you to the strategy dashboard. You'll first notice the real-time current conditions for your lake, including current flow, frontal conditions, and wind gusts. All this information is automatically fed into the bass fishing algorithm we developed to give you the best real-time strategies based on the current conditions. Below this, you have 4 inputs that allow you to fit the recommended strategies to your fishing style. First, you'll select the water clarity. On some lakes, the water clarity may be consistent across the entire lake. On others, you may find that some parts of the lakes are clear while other parts are dirty. You'll want to select the water clarity that best matches the water you plan to fish on your fishing day. Next, select your water temperature. Water temperature can sometimes vary as much as 3 to 5 degrees from one part of your lake to another. Therefore, check the water temperature in your fish finder throughout the day and change the setting to get the best possible strategies in that moment. After selecting the water temperature, you can choose whether you prefer to fish in windblown areas or protected areas. In general, bass are more active in windblown areas. However, some anglers prefer to fish out of the wind in coves or protected pockets, especially if you're on a big lake with a lot of wind or in a kayak. With this setting, you can choose which type of areas you prefer to fish and adjust the strategies that the app recommends based on the conditions you want to fish in. Finally, let the app know if there's any aquatic vegetation in the area you're fishing or plan to fish. Aquatic vegetation can be anything from lily pads, reeds, offshore hydrilla, or shallow bank grass. The presence of aquatic vegetation will have a big impact on bass behavior, so make sure you choose the proper setting to get the best recommended strategies. After adjusting the strategies to your fishing style, you can choose between either deep water or shallow water strategies in the current conditions. As a lot of you know, I like to fish in deep water most of the time. If I select deep water, I have 6 different strategies to choose from. Let's check out this deep diving jerkbait strategy by clicking on it. The first recommendation in this strategy is bait color. Bait color will change based on the current lake conditions you're facing. Next, the app is going to recommend the best location to implement the current strategy. In this case, it's recommending that you look in the first half of creeks. This is because we're currently looking at Beaver Lake, which is a highland reservoir, and the current lake and weather conditions dictate this is the best location to fish. However, as conditions change, or if you select a different lake type, the location recommendations are going to adjust automatically. And for those who may be concerned, we're not always going to recommend creeks, especially on lakes like natural lakes up north, because there are no creeks or creek channels. Instead, you have big, expansive flats, and the location recommendations are going to reflect the type of lake you're on, as well as the conditions you're fishing in. This goes for river systems and other types of fisheries as well. For all location recommendations, we're providing example images of what an area might look like on your lake, not exact images from your specific lake. Therefore, you're going to have to use a contour line map or a satellite image on either your phone or your fish finder to determine the locations that are specific to your lake. The next recommendation in this strategy are the types of structures you should be looking for in the locations mentioned earlier. The app provides 3 different examples of contour map images for each type of structure. Again, these are just example images of what the structures will look like on a contour map, but they're not specific to the exact lake you're on. Therefore, you're going to have to find similar structures using contour maps on either your phone or on your fish finder that match up with the ones shown in the strategy. In addition to structure recommendations, the app will recommend different types of cover to look for around the structure. For offshore strategies, like the deep diving jerkbait strategy, the app will provide example fish finder images of each type of cover. For shallow water strategies, the app will provide aerial images of each type of cover so you know exactly what to look for. Next, the app provides a recommended boat positioning for the strategy. This includes the depth your boat should be in and the depth you should be casting into. This boat positioning recommendation will adjust based on your fishing style, lure selection, and the current conditions. Finally, the app will give you a retrieve video for the bait recommended in the strategy. This allows you to see exactly how the bait should be retrieved, and it also provides you some recommended gear to use to get the most out of that bait. Again, all of these strategies are going to automatically update and change based on the current lake and weather conditions, along with your preferences that you select in those 4 inputs. Therefore, it's important to adjust all of your preferences and refresh the weather and lake data as often as possible to get the best real-time strategies. And this is the part of the app that I'm most excited about and the most proud of. As many of you know, the name of my YouTube channel is Fish the Moment. My definition of fishing the moment is choosing the best possible strategy based on the current lake and weather conditions. Therefore, with this app, you no longer have an excuse to not fish the moment. Now, at the same time, preparation before you go to the lake can be just as important as on-the-water execution. Therefore, in addition to real-time strategy recommendations, we've built in a feature that allows you to see recommended strategies up to 4 days into the future. By using forecasted weather conditions, we can predict the best possible strategies in the future. Using the controls at the bottom of the screen, you can first select the time of day, which allows you to see how conditions will change throughout a given day. For example, if a front starts rolling through halfway through the day and the wind starts picking up, and all of the strategies are going to adjust to the future forecasted conditions. In addition, you can click the arrow on the right side of the control panel to see the best strategies up to 4 days in the future based on future weather forecasts. For example, today I'm looking at the app on a Tuesday. However, I plan on fishing Beaver Lake this Friday. If we look at the current conditions and the current strategies, they're based on stable, warm conditions. But if we skip ahead to Friday, you'll notice that the temperature is going to drop and we're going to be dealing with post-front conditions, really tough fishing. If I looked at the strategies on Tuesday, I might select that deep diving jerkbait or maybe some baits that are better in these stable, nice and warm conditions. But because the conditions are going to get worse on Friday, we're dealing with post-front conditions, the strategies are going to adjust to that and give me baits and techniques that are going to be more suited for those future conditions. This allows you to plan for your fishing trips a lot more effectively and avoid tying on a bunch of lures that aren't going to work when you get to the lake. One other feature I haven't talked about is the ability to change the species of bass that you're targeting. We currently have largemouth and spotted bass in the app, but we'll be adding smallmouth bass to this list as soon as possible. Those are the primary features of the Deep Dive app, and I'm really excited for you guys to give it a try. And actually, the app is available right now on the Apple App Store for iPhone users and the Google Play Store for Android users. The app is subscription-based, and it's going to be $9.99 a month, or if you buy an annual subscription, the monthly cost breaks down to about $6.50. That's pretty much the cost of a crankbait. And instead of going to the store every month and buying another square bill crankbait that looks just like the other 5 in your tackle box that you're probably not even gonna use and it's gonna sit there and rust anyways, check out the Deep Dive app so all those other baits you've invested in will actually start catching you fish, and you'll have the right strategies on how to use them, where to use them, and when to use them. There are 2 easy ways to find our app. First, you can go to our website, deepdiveapp.com. Here you'll find links for Android and iPhone users. Just click these links and you'll be taken straight to the app. The second is going directly to the Apple App Store and Google Play Store on your phone. Just search Deep Dive Fishing and look for our logo. Once you find the app, you can click on it. You can see all the information that I've already talked about in this video on our description page. Also, while you're there, we'd really appreciate if you left a 5-star review in the App Store. It helps us get ranked higher in the search page so that people can find the app easier. And before you subscribe, you can try the Deep Dive app completely for free. The free version of the app gives you 1 recommended strategy. You can adjust all the inputs, look at all the lakes that are available in the app, and just get a feel for how it works. We're not going to give you all the recommended strategies, and you also can't skip ahead in time, but it's a great way to see if the app is something that you feel like you would use on the water. This isn't a free trial thing where after a certain period we automatically start charging your card or anything like that. We don't do anything like that. You can just download it for free. You can check out that strategy. If you like it and you want to support the project and the app, then you can do the subscription. If not, you still get 1 strategy in the current conditions and you can check that out. So if you're at all interested in the app, just go download it for free and check it out. I'm confident that once you get in there, you're gonna love it and you're gonna want to subscribe. And for my regular viewers, I want to give you a little bit of the backstory about how this app came to be. I've talked about it a few times on my live stream, but I've never really dug into why I'm making an app or my motivations around it. About 2 years ago, an app development team came to me who loved to fish, and they knew that I was very nerdy about bass fishing with all the data and all the specific bass fishing information, and they wondered what type of app I would like to make. And my background actually before I started YouTube was in supply chain management as a demand forecaster for pizza. And as a fisherman and as a demand forecaster, I started realizing that forecasting how many pizzas someone's going to buy around the Super Bowl is very similar to forecasting how bass are going to feed and where they're going to feed before a big cold front. There's a lot of historical data that you can use and a lot of information that allows you to forecast what bass are going to do, just like you can forecast how someone's going to buy pizza around a great television ad or an ad on your phone. Therefore, I took a lot of the data that I've just been collecting for fun over the past 5 years and pulled more data from bass fishing tournaments. We then correlated that against historical lake conditions, weather conditions, and data that we just pulled together to develop a heuristic model that predicts where bass are going to be based on a variety of conditions. Not going to get into all the math and nerdiness behind it, but it was just really cool to link my past background as a demand forecaster with bass fishing and find the linkages and all the places where it meets. By using all of those skills that I have and all of my knowledge about bass fishing and more data and research, we were able to link up all that information, put it into the app, and recommend really great strategies. Now, as you guys know, forecasts are not always perfect, especially if you've ever worked in supply chain management. I would always get a pat on the back when I would get a forecast accuracy of 75 or 80%. So that's what we're doing with this app, guys. We're forecasting what the fish are going to be doing, and it may not be 100% perfect, but we don't even get it perfect with humans, so it's even tougher sometimes with fish because we don't have the perfect information. But I feel like we've done a really great job developing a great algorithm that predicts these strategies more often than not and will put you in the right place. And that's just kind of the reason I did this project. It's really just been a passion project for me, something I've loved to do using data, bass fishing, math. It was a big mental challenge trying to figure it all out, a lot of brain power going into it, especially with my great team. Have to give a huge shout out to my team that's helped out. You guys are watching. Thank you so much for believing in me and just giving me a chance to put all this information into the app. We have a lot of big plans for the app with new features, ways to improve our forecasts, the algorithm, everything like that. But we need your support up front so that we can see if the project's gonna be successful and we can keep working on it. By having you subscribe, we're going to be able to keep building and developing and improving this app so that it becomes something that's truly special for the bass fishing community. Again, if you want to check out the app, it's available at the Apple App Store or on the Google Play Store, and you just have to type in Deep Dive. Deep Dive app, you'll find it there, and if you check it out, give it a try and like it, subscribe, again, we really appreciate that. And other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the unveil of Deep Dive and learning about it. Leave us a 5-star review over there on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. That really helps out the app if you can put those 5-star reviews, and just give us feedback. You can send us emails over at help@deepdiveapp.com. Let us know anything that you would recommend, any changes that you think would make the app better. We want to take as much feedback as possible and just keep making this thing better. This is definitely something that has been a passion project for me and something that I really want your input on to make even better. So I've talked long enough now, but hopefully you enjoyed the unveil of the brand new Deep Dive app and you're excited about it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you guys in the next video.